Hey, what's up, guys? We got a fun stream for you today. I'm back with one of my best friends, Zach, who's also the co-founder of FireTexts. First question you guys have been asking in the comments is, Alex, why haven't you been uploading videos or streaming as much recently? Turns out I have COVID. That's why my voice sounds like shit. It's not the end of the world. I'm fine. I'm not going to go to the hospital or anything like that. It's just been taking a toll on my voice, so I can't really talk as loud and make stream reviews or do like kind of content where I have to be like talking loudly, essentially. But yeah, so anyway, with that out of the way, let's quickly explain what FireText is, I guess, for anyone who's not familiar with it. Do you want to just give the background of how we started FireText and why?
Sure. Yeah, so lots of people were messaging you asking for help with texting and all of this kind of stuff. And, when ChatGPT started to get popular, we had the idea of like, what if we could train a custom version of GPT that could like emulate your style? And it was a
Yeah,
long
I thought,
process.
didn't we have the basic idea for FireText before ChatGPT? ChatGPT kind of expedited things, though.
Yeah, well, yeah, we were also talking about doing one where they could like rate your photos and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah, okay.
We were
ChatGPT.
bouncing around. Yeah,
Yeah,
we wanted to make just something that could help guys with the dating game,
yeah,
but yeah, once ChatGPT started getting popular, we really started moving in that direction. Like, oh, we can
right.
make a tool that will just
Yeah,
help
okay.
guys text properly.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, so as ChatGPT was getting popular, we it was a learning process. It was a brand new technology, so uh, we had Alex spend like hours and hours and hours doing all this training on the
More like
AI.
months and months. Yeah,
Yeah, it was a lot of work. I think it was like 3,000 or 4,000 examples or something like that
it was a lot.
of texting. And so we trained this custom GPT that can just text exactly like Alex. Um, and yeah, I mean, it's been out for a couple months, and I think overall people really like it. I mean, people, seem to be giving good feedback. We're always looking to improve it, and it is like a new app, so we're working hard on it. But yeah, I've been very happy with the reception so far. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, we were kind of talking about this privately. The fact that pretty much no, like when people subscribe, they don't unsubscribe. So
Mm.
we haven't really started any kind of marketing, like paid ads or anything like that. But the amount of like people who subscribe from the month one are still subscribed, I think is a very good sign. But yeah, essentially the premise was to clone my brain as far as texting goes, and in some ways it can be better than me, and in some ways might not be as good. Like it doesn't just. I guess what's been interesting, most fascinating to me, is that it essentially clone my sense of humor. So it'll come up with jokes that I would have said, but I've never actually said. So it's like I look at it, I'm like, oh, that's a funny joke. This is my sense of humor, but it's not a joke I've ever said. So in some ways, it's like really, even if I was to, I mean, I don't think I would really need it personally, but if I was really stuck on a text, it would be something I would use because it would be just like essentially like asking, like it would be if I could duplicate myself and asking myself, hey, Alex, what do you think about this text? Okay, Alex, this is a good one. That's essentially the premise for it. So the reason we decided to do this stream is because I think one of the big things people have been saying is like, okay, yeah, we understand the premise for it, but why is this better than ChatGPT? That's a question we've gotten over and over again. We did the previous stream. We compared it to the Riz app, and I think if you guys haven't seen that, check it out. But the Riz app like just fails like by such a large margin. It's not even close. It The Riz app performed a lot worse than even I thought it was going to perform, and I thought it was shit already. So if you guys want to see that, you can check it out. We tested it live. But in this one, we're going to test our app against ChatGPT. So what's important to keep in mind is that while it uses the same underlying AI, which is OpenAI, right?
Yeah, GPT is the underlying technology.
GPT, but it's not. But the training is totally different, right? Essentially, is the premise of it.
Exactly. Yeah, GPT is the underlying technology that can generate text, and ChatGPT is a version that OpenAI made that is built for back and forth chatting for just general advice. We use GPT and we made like a basically like an Alex GPT
Okay.
that knows how to talk exactly like you. Um, so they're both like it's kind of like two branches of a tree where GPT is like the base of the tree and that splits off in two directions. And
So it's kind
ours
of
is
like
optimized.
a coding language, right? And you can use the same coding language to make two different things.
It's more like a technology. Like think about it like if it's a car, there's like an engine is like the same technology is like of an engine, like a combustion engine, like a Ferrari has the same technology as like a Honda, right? But like it's the same type of engine. It's just they're built totally differently, and like ours is just built differently from ChatGPT. But they're both like versions of an engine, essentially.
Yeah. And you guys are going to see the big difference in this stream between what the end result is, because I think that's what matters for people. Okay, what kind of texting advice does it give us? So we're going to test them back to back. We're going to specifically focus on the big thing guys asked about: concerns, objections, shit tests. We're going to really focus on those three things. We can test other stuff as well. When you say the app is heading towards being profitable, yeah, it's already like very profitable. So there's like the profit margin is like 85% or something.
I mean,
right?
we have no cost right now. We're getting ready. We want to start advertising it and get it to a wider audience. But part of us releasing this app was we wanted to keep it really simple at first, just so we could get it out and see what people think of it. And we got the good reception that we were hoping for. So yeah, we want to start marketing it, but we're working on it. We're getting it there. We want to kind of perfect the app first and make sure everything's good before we market it to a wider audience. Because right now, most of the user base is playing with Fire fans who, they already know the purpose of the product. They already know who Alex is. So yeah, we'll get there.
Yeah. Well, to answer your question, the app is already profitable. Like, meaning we're not taking a loss. We're not taking a financial loss every month. We're making a profit every month. The profit may not be like insane amounts of money, but it's still profitable as it is. Like, even if we never ever succeed with the paid ads, we'll still have like a decent amount of profit if things stay on the way they are. But all right, so let's should we start? Let's start with Chat GBT. So let's do like a common thing. I guess like, okay, let's do this. The guy says we should spill a bottle of wine in my place, and the girl says I'm not looking for a hookup. Let's try that.
Okay. Yeah, we have to kind of like format the message properly. So we'll say like, I am struggling with a message to send to a woman that I'm dating. I wonder if I could
Not dating.
the next line.
Maybe not dating because that assumes a relationship that
messaging with.
Yeah.
I feel like if I hit enter here, it's gonna just send it, but I want to keep it all together. Hold on. I'll just write this in like my own notes.
Can you just do shift and new paragraph with shift down?
I feel like I don't know if they're good enough for that. Let's see. Oh, okay. Yeah, you're right. Very nice. Good call. Okay. Okay, and then we'll say like here are the last few messages. Okay, well, sorry, what did you want me to use again?
I think I said we should spill a bottle of wine in my place from the guy, and the girl says, I'm not looking for a hookup.
Okay. All right, and let's just give it one last line of instructions. Let's say something like, can you compose 4 options of what I could message her next?
Or maybe text her next.
Okay.
Or four best options. 4 of the best options.
Compose the 4 best options.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, I think this probably looks good.
Yeah.
We'll kind of use this same format every time that we use ChatGPT from now on. All right, let's see what it says.
Okay, so totally understand. How about we enjoy that bottle of wine and binge watch a show instead? No pressure, just good company. Okay, that one just misses the whole point. No worries at all. I was actually thinking more along the lines of a good conversation, maybe a board game. The wine's just a bonus. So it's treating the wine as a source of the objection, not the fact that the girl doesn't want to come over. Fair enough. How about we turn into a wine tasting night? Yeah, that's cool. I was necessarily thinking about that. Maybe we can just relax up some wine, chat, enjoy your company. The first 3 are completely useless. The 4th one is meh. It doesn't completely miss the mark, but I don't think it's going to do the trick. Let's have some wine and chat. I enjoy your company, so no pressure at all. Yeah, I probably the first three I would throw out the window, and the fourth one is that's essentially the premise of it.
Mm.
All right, should we toggle between that and should we go now to FireTexts?
You can keep it on ChatGPT for a second. I just find it so interesting. I mean, I'm like a programmer, so I think about this stuff in maybe different terms. These two examples are so they explain so much about how AI works, how it's like, it's capable of generating lines that like sound human, but it's so obviously not human because the AI is just simply not understanding that like the inviting her over is the problem. Like it thinks that the wine is the problem.
Right,
I find that so like no human would ever think like that.
right.
Like it's very obvious what the problem is. The AI is trying to like get around the wine thing somehow.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, I picked up on that too. All right, let me add
Yeah,
FireText to this
let's
thing.
trigger.
So the cool thing about FireText is a lot easier. You don't have to write all this out. It already comes with intention that you're going to be texting a girl.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe we could just do like a quick run through the main stuff in the app.
Sure, sure. Yeah, go ahead.
So basically, the app is set up like you can keep a list of conversations. So if you're like chatting with multiple girls, you could just come in and add one here. You just put the girl's name and then whatever dating app that you're talking to her on, or you could. I think there's an option where you could just not select this. You could leave that blank.
You can hit skip.
Just messaging her or whatever. But yeah, and then you just kind of have your list here, and if you like go back to a conversation, you could just go back in the list. You could like search by, you can come in here and you could search by name or by app or whatever. So you can always get back to your previous conversation. But
So this is for organization. So for
Yeah.
99.9% of guys who are texting multiple girls.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so and then here's just the main screen where you can actually like use the AI in the app. So basically, you just start filling out the previous messages here, and there's also a box where you could give it like further instructions about like what kind of message you want it to generate. But we'll get into that later. We'll keep it simple for now at the start. So what was it? It was something like
The guy says, I think we should spill a bottle of wine in my place. And the girl says, I'm not looking for a hookup.
all right. So now that we've got the messages set up properly,
Also, let's just quickly point one thing out. So we don't have a web version. So we're using a what do they call it? Emulator, right?
this is just like basically an Android device that's running on my computer.
Yeah. So this looks a bit different when you're looking at your phone. So to just explain the optics. Not different, not different in terms of like the screen is different, just meaning like the overall aesthetics are better.
I mean, yeah. It's running on my computer, so obviously it's going to be a little slower than like a real phone. But I mean, it mostly.
Well, because like, do you see how it's like it's a phone tab versus like theirs is a full screen. This I'm just pointing out that this is the reason it's like looking like it's on the phone is because it's using an emulator, right? Versus this is not a web version, which is going to be adapted for PC. That's the only point I'm making.
Right, exactly. Yeah, but I mean, this overall looks mostly like what you're going to see when you use the app. Okay, so we can hit generate now. So yeah, basically the setup of the app is you just fill out the messages, and then if you want to give extra instructions, which is totally optional, and there's an advanced option which we'll get into later as well. But we'll keep it simple. All right, so here we go. We'll hit generate. Okay, and right away we can see the difference between the types of messages our app creates versus ChatGPT, right?
Yeah. So the first message is by far the best. Is that when a girl gives you an objection, when she assumes something, you want to the best way to convince her otherwise to ask a question, to get her to question her assumption, rather than like so. For example, if a girl says, "I'm not looking for a hookup," you say, "Oh, good, I'm not looking for a hookup either." She just thinks you're saying that to because that's what she wants to hear. But if you make her question her initial assumption by saying, "Who said anything about a hookup?" then she has to be like, "Well, yeah, that's true. You didn't say anything about a hookup." So first message is good. Second message is only if you're really going for a hookup. I probably wouldn't send that. Third message is fine too. But you can see the difference in style. It's just much more direct and succinct and much more focused around actually saying shit that works rather than just like saying things that may seem good or not actually going to work.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, ChatGPT, the messages it generates are just like they're not really realistic. Like it's just gonna.
I don't know what the best way of explaining it is. They're like there are things that might sound good to an outside observer, but they're not things that actually like people text each other, or at least people who get late text each other, and they're not things that are going to work well if you text them to a girl.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, the difference in style is just obvious.
Yeah.
So, all right.
Yeah.
I think
First is solid. Second, third is decent. Second one, second one I would only said if you're like really just trying to be extremely direct. But I probably wouldn't say that. So yeah, typically we will have a generate 3 or 4 messages. Typically, like 2 or 3 of them will be good, and then there'll be one throwaway.
yeah, and we could just hit generate like again if you don't like any of the ones that show up.
Yeah.
I mean, you could hit generate and it'll be different messages most
Yeah,
of the time.
so like you do know you can drink wine without being hookup, right? That's a good one. You don't have to have sex to split a bottle of wine. That's a good one. So yeah, we got 3 solid ones here. Those are good actually. You don't have to have sex to split a bottle of wine. So yeah, you can kind of see a difference there. Well, let's give it the same benefit of the doubt. Let's go back to ChatGPT and hit generate again just to see to keep things as fair as possible.
Okay, I can just click regenerate.
Okay. Good and no pressure at all. How we moving on? Play some board games. No worries. I was implying if maybe we could cook dinner. So I mean, I appreciate your honesty. So yeah, it's like kind of like you can train. You can tell it was trained by like kind of SJWs. It's like, oh, no pressure at all. Now look, I'm not saying the point is to put pressure on the girl, but this kind of stuff, if you say it like that, you're just gonna come off looking like you're guilty. So basically, if you send a text like that, she's gonna be like, oh, this guy's backtracking so hard. It must be because he really did want to hook up, and now he's trying to salvage the conversation. So when you do a complete like 180 frame like that, it just makes you look like you were actually guilty of the thing the girl's accusing you of, essentially.
Yeah, yeah, I agree with that. It does take like a guilty stance. Um,
Yeah. All right, let's do another one. So by the way, Chad, feel free to suggest whatever the fuck you want. We'll test whatever you guys come up with. So feel free to suggest any ideas you have.
yeah,
Uh,
definitely send in examples, or if you're actually like struggling with something in real life right now and you want our opinion and you want to see what these two apps say, definitely send them in.
let's modify very slightly. So just change her from I'm not looking at hookup to change her to say what are you looking for on here?
Do you want to do this in ChatGPT or in our app?
Let's do a ChatGPT first.
Okay.
So
Right.
just change. You can keep everything the same. Just change her to what are you looking for on here? Okay, so I'm looking to meet people with how about we grab coffee or go for a walk to chat more? So that's completely nonsensical because we literally in the previous chat message said grab a bottle of wine in my place. So that's just gonna confuse the fuck out of her. I'm hoping to find one to click with. Maybe we can meet up for a casual drink or activity. Again, totally misses the point that in the first message you said grab a drink in my place. So actually, every single one of them misses the context of the first message, and there's only 2 messages here. Just scroll up so they can see the first message that you sent. We should split a bottle of wine in my place. Every single one of them misses that point.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I don't understand why it really is like only taking into account this message from her. It's really just kind of skipping over the context here entirely.
Someone said try to ask ChatGPT to be more alpha. I don't even know how would we do that.
I mean, we could try it here. We could just send another message,
Okay.
and you generate 4 more options, but be more alpha. It's probably gonna give us a rundown here and tell us about why alpha is a bad,
Okay.
toxic.
Okay. I'm here to meet someone who excites me, shares my municipality, meet up for it. Still has the same exact issue. like it doesn't change anything. It's exactly the same type of text,
Yeah.
but it still completely misses the point. Okay, so the first one. Okay, so I guess it depends on how you interpret it. This one, it misses the point less. But as a I'm looking for confident. Well, how about we grab a drink and see if there's a connection? How about we meet up for a drink and see where the night takes us? It's kind of repeating the first message, but I think this at least the second set of options a little bit better. I don't know. What do you think?
They seem kind of exactly the same to me. And honestly, like all of these examples basically are the same thing. They all blend together. It's like I'm
Yeah.
looking for I want to meet interesting people. Let's do blank 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 and see what happens. That every single one that it generates is exactly the same.
Well, at least this is better than the Riz app.
I don't want to. I don't want to trash them too much because like it wasn't even working half the time. It was like I was like embarrassed for them, and that's like our competition. It was rough. That was a rough one.
All right, let's go to FireTexts and replicate the same scenario.
Okay, what was the? Oh yeah, she said, "What are you looking for on here?"
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, so this is a lot better. I have a chemistry potential relationship. If we click, okay, that's if you want to kind of lean into that more. Just looking for some cool people, perhaps a bit of kinky sex. Who knows? Maybe my future wife. So a lot more funny, a lot more tongue in cheek. Pretty open, just looking to meet a cool girl and see where things go naturally. If you want to play low risk, someone to share my evenings with. If you want to go more trollish, and the fifth one is like overly serious. So yeah, you got multiple different directions here. You can see they're quite different. Hit generate again.
Yeah, I mean, I just feel like if you were to rank all of the ones for this example, like with combined hours and ChatGPTs, like I don't know if it's just because I'm biased, but it just seems like ours would be at the top of the list and theirs would be at the bottom.
Yeah, like there's a massive difference. So you got different options. You got authenticity, you got humor, you got playing it safe, you got not playing it safe. A cool girl I have chemistry with. That is one of the most safest answers you can give that will work really well the vast majority of the time. Now it doesn't screen aggressively, so you could have a situation where the girl comes over and then you try to like escalate and she's like, "Oh, I didn't know you were trying to hook up." That can happen. Not likely, but it can happen. Now, if you want to fuck around a little bit and make her laugh, you can just say something like the third or fourth one. Sorry, not the fourth one, the third one. Someone to share my wine with. Or second one, a solution to world peace. Is that too much to ask for? So those are a really good way of making the girl laugh, right? So far, I haven't seen any answers from ChatGPT that were like actually funny. I'm looking to find a girl I have chemistry with and hopefully build something with. What about you? So that's again, if you want to go a little bit more of like the, I don't know, super duper safe blue pill route. But essentially, the last one is really good, and the second and third one are quite good as well. They're just different directions to proceed in, but they're both effective directions.
I think the third one actually is like interesting. I mean, it's not like the best one we've seen for this example, but I just think it's interesting because in the first message he says, "Let's split a bottle of wine at my place," and then the app kind of says like he's looking for someone to share wine with.
Yeah, you're like it's like trolling the girl because my
Yeah.
whole like my sense of humor is very trollish. So that is I've never sent that message like that, but that would be something I would actually say in certain
Exactly.
situations.
I remember when we were developing this. So you remember how I said we used like 3 or 4 thousand examples to train
Yeah.
it with? We started with like we wanted to see if it could work with 100, and then it wasn't as good as we wanted, so we moved it to like 500 and then 1,000, etc. I remember I tested this thing a lot because I was the developer on it, and I remember each time we added more and more examples, it just started sounding more and more like Alex each time. Like the first time when it was just 100, I like heard just a little bit of Alex coming through. It was like rare, but then like by the end, it was like this thing was just a total clone and like using his exact sense of humor.
Yeah, yeah, that part is both awesome and creepy.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely. All right, I'm trying. It's you made a good point because it's like obviously we developed this app, so I'm trying to stay as unbiased as possible. But I legitimately believe these answers are so much fucking better. Uh, like I just going off what I've done and what works. Like this is like ChatGPT essentially gives you a mild variation of the same answer. It doesn't really. I don't seem to see it use any humor or even.
It's like very serious, or it has like the most serious tone possible. It's like how you would talk if you were like in a therapy session or something.
What if we let's give it the benefit of the doubt. Let's tell it to be funny, and let's see if we can do that.
Okay.
But yeah, another cool thing is that like with FireText, you don't have to do any of this shit. Like you don't have to like tell it to be funny, or it's all automated. It's all
Yeah.
automatic.
I mean, we do have the option to do the instructions, but I feel like most of the time,
But the default response already assumes that. That's like if you want to lean into something more.
Exactly. All right, so here we'll ask it to be funny.
Okay. I'm looking for someone who appreciates my fine taste in wine and terrible taste in movies. How about we watch something so bad it's good? I'm looking for someone who handle my puns and wine include dance moves. How about I'm here to find someone who appreciates my collection. All of these fucking suck. None of these are actually funny. These are things that would sound funny to a computer, maybe, but these are not something that would actually be funny to a person.
Yeah, I mean, here we're just seeing how the training of ChatGPT is. It's built for a very wide audience, and it has trouble handling specific tasks like this, where you're like trying to attract a girl over text messaging. Just
I mean,
for that.
Again, my kind of theory that I've been saying is that I feel like ChatGPT was programmed by nerds who don't get laid. Trained by nerds.
It was So the people who trained it aren't the ones. The people who actually created the technology, the programmers, they didn't actually cause it to have the.
Yeah. That's what I mean. Trained. Yeah.
Yeah, the trainers are the ones, and we know who trained it. It was OpenAI. It's based in San Francisco, and they basically just hired a bunch of college kids in San Francisco to sit in front of the computer for hours and hours and hit thumbs up and thumbs down depending on how it responded. So that's why it acts the way it does. It was fine tuned by a bunch of college kids in San Francisco.
Okay. Let's try to do another one. So let me think. What's like a good
Did anybody send in any requests?
Nothing like super specific. People have made like suggestions for like how to make ChatGPT better. But yeah, let me think of a good example. Okay. The guy says, okay, let's try this. Okay, so keep the same message from the guy, and the girl instead gives him a shit test. She says,
Can we do it on FireTexts first, so then we can do it on ChatGPT after?
Sure. So get rid of the message from the girl and change it to, no, sorry, don't delete it. We're just going to change it. Okay. Look at you, so smooth. You must do this often, huh?
But is this for the same message here with the?
Yeah.
Okay, can you repeat it again?
Look at you, so smooth. You must do this often, huh? And then, huh? Yeah, exactly. So it's like more of a shit test rather than an objections.
Gotcha.
Yes, almost as much as I win in Monopoly. So again, the way to respond to shit tests is with humor. Yes, with all my favorite girls, it's a little too ballsy. Yes, almost as often as you think about me, I probably wouldn't go with that. Yes, all the time on multiple wives, that's a good one. Only on the nights where I'm feeling extra confident. So yeah, first, fourth, and fifth are all really solid. So that's like, again, the thing with shit tests is just basically like you want to respond with humor. Like you don't want to take it seriously. So I think FireText does a pretty good job of that. The third one is a little too cocky for my taste, but the other ones are all solid.
Yeah, I think it handles this pretty well. This is a fairly simple situation.
Yeah, and also you don't get bonus points for being more complex. Actually, you lose points. Simpler message is always better. Simplicity is always better than complexity when it comes to this and most things in life.
Yeah, I mean that's what we saw with the first examples as well. Like ChatGPT always wanted to write like a long text with like 2 sentences for every single one, and ours just generates like a nice short and sweet message, like with some humor, but also it just gets to the point. It's just an easier message to respond to.
All right, should we try this on ChatGPT?
Yeah.
I'll add it to the screen.
Okay, so right there we go. So I just made a little tool while we were on here, but that it just writes the whole thing for me, so we don't have to go through that every single time. Okay, all right, let's send it.
Okay. Only when I find someone I really want to impress. No, only when the situation definitely does. That was not terrible, actually. Just trying to make the most of a good opportunity. Well, only when I meet someone who catches my attention like you did. So first and fourth are like super like try hard. Uh, third is minorly try hard. Second one is minorly corny, but it could work. Second one's the only one that could work.
I
Uh,
think it actually did better with this one than the
it
last
did.
example.
Let's
I
let's
also I also wonder if it's still following the instructions we gave it before about like being alpha and being funny. I'm just gonna make like a new ChatGPT chat real quick and paste the same thing in and see if we get similar ones. Okay, it's the same.
It's all about also it over relies on emojis heavily. It's all about the right inspiration. Just go with the couch leads me. Just trying to make the most out of a good connection. Yeah, they're all kind of minorly corny. Try to say have the responses be more alpha and more funny. Yeah, just corny, just really corny.
Smooth is my middle name, but only because my parents couldn't fit wine enthusiast.
Yeah. Okay, someone says tell it to keep it short. Okay, let's try that. Tell it to keep it short.
Okay.
Can you generate 4 more responses but keep them short? Okay, yeah. No, that doesn't seem to do much. Let me quickly address a comment. Uh, I know you and John Anthony are on good terms with his stuff work. So I have never tested his AI app. As far as I know, it's not specific for texting. It's a general thing for like where he took like, as far as I know, again, just don't quote me on this. I just heard little bits and pieces. Is that he took like he had his all his videos and like all his shit transcribed and put into an AI training program. So it's like you could it's like ask Jeeves, ask John Anthony. It's not specifically designed for texting. I would be extremely subscribed. I would be extremely surprised if it's anywhere as good as ours. But again, I don't know even if it's out. I haven't texted it, so I don't know. But I also believe the price cost is totally different. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I would be surprised if it comes even close, but I don't know because I haven't tested it. So I'll just leave it at that. Um, okay, so let's try another one. Hmm. All right, let's change to a different message from the guy. So the guy says, okay, let's do a re-engagement text. Uh, we should get together. So the guy says,
Can you switch over back to FireText?
sure. So how about this? The guy, mm, I want to make it clear that the girl didn't respond. So girl says, okay, so girl says, what are you up to this weekend?
Hold on a sec. Okay.
And then guy says, uh, just chilling. We should grab a drink. And then the girl doesn't respond. And like, let's try that.
So double text.
Yeah. Okay, that's pretty good if you're into that sort of thing. Now, sometimes if it's convinced that one message is the best, it'll just give you that unless you ask it for more.
Right. And this would be a good time to show the slider.
Yeah, yeah.
So once you use the app a little bit and you kind of learn how, which situations it's, best suited for and less, you get that if you check the advanced checkbox here, you can actually control the AI and make it like more creative and less creative. So if you like peg it all the way to the right here at 100% full creativity, you're going to get like some crazy answers, but some really good ones. Like in this situation, it's kind of just falling back on the if you're into that sort of thing, because it was at the normal is like 50% or something. So it's just kind of going to use the safe answer. It doesn't have that extra.
Well, I think there's an even easier way to explain it. If it gives you like one or two answers, that essentially means that that's the answer I would give like 99% of the time. Versus if it's giving you five answers, that means that there might be a preference I have, but there could be other answers that I would also give.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
essentially that's like the TLDR version. But what Zach is explaining is a more technical answer.
Yeah, sorry. So,
No, you're good. You're good.
So essentially, yeah, if it's only giving you one or two answers and you feel like you want to see more, you want to go in and turn the advance on and turn up the creativity. I would say there's less situations where you want to turn down the creativity. Yeah. I mean, it's I guess maybe certain ones, but it's more common that like if you want to just go crank it up a little bit and get some, you just have to be aware that you might get some crazy answers. Because you are like you're giving the AI like more freedom to kind of like freestyle and come up with stuff that it thinks might be a little risky.
Yeah.
All right, so let's try it with more. And here's a perfect example of what turning up the creativity did. Right, like it kept the same one, but it kind of freestyled a little bit and got a little more risky with its message.
Yeah, that's why we have it set. Like most of the time, the vast majority of the time, you're going to want to just leave the settings as they are. This is just we just want to give people more custom ability if they're like good at texting and they want to fuck around essentially.
Yeah, and I feel like that's kind of how our app is built in general. Like how you type in the messages one by one. As you use the app and you kind of like learn how the AI works, you can kind of like our app really lets you tweak a lot of things, especially like with the instructions and the slider and lots of other apps that do this. Like you just upload a screenshot of your message and like that's it. You don't have any option to customize. We've heard from people who like they even since they know how the AI works, they can even go like tweak these messages a little bit, like so they're not exactly how they appear in the messages. But if you want to like get the AI, if you want to give the AI a more complete story, you can like change certain things here. Like for instance, like if the girl uses like a different language, like slang, like some Spanish or something like that, like you could just write it in English to make sure that the AI has like the full picture.
Yeah. Now
you have full control.
Or we can just get married. It's not a horrible answer. It's I would definitely prefer if you're into that sort of thing. But it is a funny joke. You're getting her to respond back with humor. So generally with FireTexts, it just goes back to again what I believe is that humor is good. Making a girl laugh is good. It's a good way to deal with a lot of situations, with the exceptions of some. Like with a serious objection, you probably don't want to use humor. But aside from that, humor is kind of good. Including if the girl's not responding, right? So it's a different type of takeaway. So it's not a bad text. It's just not quite as good as the first one. But we'll see if even that 100% creativity text is going to be better than anything that ChatGPT comes up with. I don't know. We'll find out.
Did somebody message that in the chat that they said, "Or we can get married" is a bad one?
No. I was just explaining.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I see where it's going. I agree with you. I mean, there's a reason that when we had the creativity in the middle, it literally only gave us that one because it's just the AI is just sure that that's what you would say in that situation.
Yeah. All right, so let's try this.
Okay. Yeah, this is right. Okay. I don't know what it's going to do here. I'm worried for ChatGPT.
Okay, so this is like a technical game mistake. Yeah. It's trying to escalate on non-compliance, which is something you never ever do. So when the girls give you non-compliance by not responding to your last text, the last thing you want to do is try to escalate on that. That is one of the worst things you can do. I didn't even come up with this. It's like an old school pickup thing. I think I heard Todd say that or Mystery. It was like a very old school pickup concept. But yeah, never a good idea to escalate on non-compliance.
Yeah, I mean, it's just not a good way to approach that. I mean, she already didn't respond when you asked for a drink. You shouldn't just follow up and like just continue trying to schedule it and like ignore the fact that she ghosted you on that.
Yeah, maybe we could say like respond with humor and just see what it says.
Okay. Um,
Okay, moral of the story: never ask ChatGPT to be funny because it confuses funny with extremely corny.
yeah.
Oh lordy.
And it's funny how it's always about the drinks. It can't get off the drinks thing.
Yeah. Uh, if the AI is so good, go get laid with it. A lot of people have. Like, just go to our page, firetext.com. I believe we include some screenshots in there too. We have a Discord group where you can see people talking about how they got laid through FireText all the time. Discord group is free. Anyone can join. Check it out. Uh, the one thing that's missing is the AI could build a profile of the girl to know how to respond if she's shy, flaky, bratty, or flaky. Well, you could tell the AI, you could tell FireText what you believe the girl is, and it can adjust to that.
Mhm.
Uh, but uh, yeah, I mean, in order to like make a categorization of the girl, that would require guys to give a lot of messages.
Yeah, and like maybe upload her profile or something like that. Like the AI would need to have all information, and I mean that's possible in the future. I don't think the technology is quite there for that yet, but in the future, I mean, we're always going to keep updating this with like the most recent AI technology. So that's definitely something that could happen in the future. Although, like what Alex said, I mean, you kind of can do that right now. We haven't used the instructions box yet in FireText, but you could, if there's something very specific you want the AI to know about her, you could put that in the instructions box and see if it follows the instructions.
Okay, let's go back to FireText. Okay, let's try a different thing. Uh, let's try more like a bratty. Uh, so you think? Okay. Let's do a standard like PWF opener. So the guy opens the girl and says, "Hey, trouble," and the girl says, let's say she's like just shit testing him off the bat, and she says, "Who says I'm trouble?" And then we'll do a more extreme shit test later on.
Okay, so is that good?
Yeah. So yeah, I like one, two, and three are both solid.
Yeah, I mean, even 4 and 5 aren't like terrible. I mean,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Let's try. Like, here's a good chance to try the pre-filled instructions. Just put in tease her.
so yeah, just we could just touch on this a little bit how this
Yeah.
box works. So if you just want to give it some extra instructions or some extra information or something like that, you have this box. You can type anything into it, but we have like these pre-filled ones that are like most commonly used by people. So you don't have to bother like typing if you don't want to. And we find that the AI like responds to these pretty well. It's not. It doesn't follow it every single time. The
Yeah, it's
AI
not perfect, but
technology is yeah. It's not. The AI GPT specifically kind of struggles with following instructions sometimes, as we've seen with the Chat GPT. But um, most of the time, it gets the message. Okay, so let's see what happens here.
uh, your restraining order did. That was not bad. Your mom, duh. I can just tell. So two and five are good. If she has tattoos, if she has a tattoo on her ass, then definitely go with three. But if not, two and five are pretty funny.
Yeah, I mean, you can see how the ones that generated here are kind of different before we use the teaser
Yeah,
instructions. It's just kind of you can guide the AI to the proper result that you're looking for, and that kind of goes back to what I was saying before about how our app like really gives you a lot more control over the output than other
yeah.
apps do.
All right, let's try ChatGPT.
Okay. Should we use the tease her thing, or just should we leave that off
No,
to start?
no, let's just start off.
Okay. This is the first time we've actually done one of these in ChatGPT.
These are actually slightly better. I guess one can work. They're all they're all a little bit like longer and more corny than they need to be, but it actually follows the similar direction as FireText for this. But I think that's because we put tease her in the instructions.
Yeah, we could
But
try it without. I would say this one could be pretty weird if you literally just started talking to
yeah,
him.
yeah, that one I would not use.
Like that's literally your second message you've ever sent her, and somebody you just met online.
Yeah. Okay, on this one, ChatGPT does like a semi decent job. That's the first one where I would say ChatGPT did totally fuck it up.
Let's try it without and see what happens without the teaser.
Okay. Oh yeah, and it gets extra corny.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess its default is just like corniness. Let's go to a more extreme shit test. So let me think. Um okay, we'll rewrite it. Let's say I don't know. Like I want to have the girl say I'm a brat. So the guy says I just need to be something realistic. Like who you seem you seem like a fun you seem like you could be fun. I don't know. Okay, you seem like you could be a lot of fun. And then the girl says, "Yeah, but I'm also a massive brat." No, no instructions. Yeah, so these are all actually pretty solid. Uh, even better. Del Mosi, I like a chat. Sounds like we're gonna have a lot of fun together. Yeah, so uh, definitely like 2, 3 would be all ones that would probably be my first go to. Fourth is also really solid. That would be right up there. Fifth, yeah, fifth could also work. None of these are bad. Just which one is the best? I'll probably go with. So I like to keep things as simple as possible. I would just say even better, or I like a challenge. That would be my go tos.
Yeah, same. I specifically like the third one. I think that's the best.
Yeah, yeah. All right, let's now copy that and go to uh, ChatGPT.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, that's a good way to yeah. If a girl tells you she's a brat and you respond with any one of these, you're gonna get ignored or made fun of, and or yeah. Don't say that. Moral of the story.
Yeah, it's just interesting the tone that it takes. It's so much different from our app.
It's like very like overly pleasant.
Yeah.
It's like you know what it is? It's like the number one priority is not to offend,
Yeah.
not to rock the boat.
It's like it writes like business emails basically. Like this is how you would write if you were like messaging someone in a business email. Obviously not like you wouldn't be talking about brattiness and stuff, but like the tone of the tone that they write with is like the same tone though in like a business relationship.
Yeah.
There's no like sense of like play, I guess. I don't know how to describe it.
Like playfulness, like teasing. Yeah, like yeah, yeah. All right, let's create another one. Uh, I don't know. Do you have any good ideas?
Um, what have we done? Well, let's give it some like problems that people encounter, like logistics or something like that.
Well, logistics are pretty straightforward, I think, right? Like, what could be okay? Like,
Well, I mean, yeah, they're straightforward, but I'd be interested to see how ChatGPT responds to it.
Okay, so the guy says, okay, uh, let's meet at 9. And the girl says, I don't have a car though.
So before we hit generate, let's see.
I already know what FireTexts is going to say, but it's going to be one or two answers because there's one answer that's the most easy and straightforward for this. But yeah, go ahead.
Will I get her an Uber?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, of course. Actually, look at the fifth one though.
Good thing I have a magic carpet. Yeah, that's if you want to respond with humor. I feel like it always uses humor as one of the options, or most of the time.
Yeah.
But really, like, if you want to just keep it simple, 1 through 3. Actually, 4 is actually funny. It's combines humor and solving the problem. I actually like that. That's okay. My Uber can just swing by.
Yeah, and it implies there's wait, you have an Uber? What does that mean?
Yeah, it's kind of funny, but it's also like addresses the issue.
Yeah.
Okay, so easy, straightforward. All right, now let's try to see what ChatGPT does.
What's your prediction for ChatGPT?
I think it's going to really overcomplicate it. Or it's going to simp, or it's going to be something like kind of like, oh, that's okay. I can just come to you.
Yeah, or like we could meet halfway or something like that.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, so it's all essentially, it's exactly, you predicted it. It's like, oh, let's just meet somewhere closer to you, right? Which is probably will get you the date, but that you're going to have a hard ass fucking time closing if you're like in the middle of nowhere near her place, and especially if she's not like on board with like, yeah, just no. So yeah, I guess this kind of answers the question. It always picks the direction of like not rocking the boat.
Yeah, exactly. Everything's super safe.
Like
I wonder if we give it. I wonder if we tell it, like, basically not to say no, but to like be more assertive about solving the situation while still having the date at my place.
Try.
How should we phrase that to ChatGPT?
I don't know. I haven't used ChatGPT much. Okay.
We generate 4 more options while still trying to have the date at my place.
So it's all still in that general direction of like you're gonna pick her up. Now the problem with that is most girls just don't want to give you their address, so that's gonna already like put you in the wrong direction. The majority of girls will not want to give their address to a guy they just met. It's a weird thing because a lot of them will come over straight to the guy's place, but they feel like weird about the guy knowing the address.
I guess I kind of understand that.
Yeah, I kind of understand it. Yeah,
you can never ungive away your address.
Yeah, that's true.
I guess unless you move.
All right, let's try like 1 or 2 more.
Okay. Before we go off ChatGPT, I think this one's strange because we told it to have the date at my place, but then in the third one it just says no problem, I'll come to you.
I think so. Yeah, it seems like it has sometimes a hard time understanding the instructions.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want people in the chat to suggest some questions. Just literally give like whatever things you guys struggle with, and we'll just go through that.
Yeah.
In the meantime, I guess I'll come up with some more shit. I don't know. Is there anything you want to ask it?
What are like the situations that guys struggle with the most? We did the shit test. We did the logistics problems.
Yeah, like I don't know, girls just like not responding, or girls. Yeah, or girls. Okay, let's do like a girl being wishy-washy.
Okay, yeah, that's a good one.
So, how about the guy says
we could keep that one the same and not just be like, I'm not sure, like I don't know if I want to, something like that.
The girl says, I'll let you know.
Perfect.
Yeah, it's just going super simple.
Let's bump up the creativity and see if we can get more. Fourth on
The
the
girl
list.
who loves to make me wait. Because I think this is not really realistic. Because it would okay the way we have to format it because it just wouldn't happen like that with the guy saying let's meet at 9 p.m.
Yeah,
Uh, the way it would go is like let's get together on Friday.
yeah, that's more realistic.
That's how it would be. Just remove the advanced. You'll have to yeah remove.
Still sounds good. Let's bump it up.
Okay, there we go. I know you will. Okay, there's a good one. Do it. Why am I getting the feeling you're not very spontaneous? That's fine. You're gonna have to give me a little more than that. 5 p.m. Yeah, it actually did. This one it did like so on. Actually, I'll be honest. But the
First one's like decent, but
yeah, the first one's decent. Hit generate again. Okay, this is better. Uh, that's Tinder code for she's going to get back to me sometime next 2 weeks. Yeah, so that one you gotta. That's what they all say. Yeah, so like that's why I think you gotta sometimes hit generate twice. We'll do the same thing for
yeah,
ChatGPT to keep things even.
yeah. This is Alex humor coming through,
Yeah,
full, 100%. All right, should we switch over to
yeah,
ChatGPT?
yeah. Yeah, so it just like kind of puts the ball in her court. It's
I mean,
overly like placating.
yeah, I would say these actually aren't like horrible though.
I mean, I would just go with. I would rather just go with sounds good. Like, because if you overinvest when the
Yes.
girl is like giving you non-compliance, that's not good either. So you're
Yeah.
much better off just saying literally sounds good. That's actually not terrible. I would just actually prefer just to like the message, or hit her with like a funny takeaway.
Yeah.
Because I feel like this one you overvalidate her when she's giving you non-compliance. That's not really a good thing either.
Yeah. But I don't think that, like these are gonna like make her not respect you or like cancel plans or anything like that.
No, probably not. But it's all a series of like things. It's all like it's never based on one message really.
Exactly.
Okay, this is we got a suggestion here. Let's try this. Her, where are you taking me to dinner? Obviously, I don't want dinner. Okay. I don't even think I think the yeah, we can just go text from the girl. Just where are you taking me to? No, actually, we need to. How do we simulate that? Like, how would that happen in a conversation?
Oh, so he's saying in parentheses he doesn't want to have dinner with her. He wants to know
Yeah,
something
yeah, yeah,
else with her.
yeah. But
What
how do
is
we? How? Why would she say where are you taking me to dinner?
okay?
We
So maybe we could keep the
let's grab. Oh yeah, let's get together on Friday, and she says, "Where are you taking me to dinner?"
we can try to use the
I don't
instructions.
think we need to just try without that actually.
Okay. All right, we'll see what happens.
So yeah,
Lost McDonald's.
McDonald's, duh. I was thinking you place on Fifth Street, unless you prefer McDonald's. McDonald's, of course, you don't like surprises. You like wine, so yeah, it gives you multiple different directions to go in. Uh, if you want to try, or you can hit generate again. Yeah,
It really loves them. Did you use McDonald's in the examples in your
I
training?
do joke around at McDonald's a lot. I was thinking McDonald's dollar menu, although that could come off. My mom's house. She's making her famous spaghetti. That's not terrible because you're responding with humor. A romantic spot called blah blah blah. Yeah, that's fine. Now, if you tell it that, so how would you respond? So you would just say, put in pre-filled instructions, teaser.
Dude, you really like that McDonald's.
I do like that joke. McDonald's. I heard the Happy Meals come with a toy. That's so my sense of humor. McDonald's. I hear they have a romantic dollar menu.
That's funny. Well, let's try to get with the guy's example though, and get away from the restaurants. Well, what do you think we should say here?
Uh,
I do feel like it's really stuck on that McDonald's. It really is gonna wanna. We're gonna have to overpower the McDonald's urge.
yeah, just say like, uh, I want to invite her to my house instead, or something. I don't want to go to dinner, or I don't know, maybe something like that. and I won. Yeah,
All right, let's try it out.
let's try it. Yeah, so there we go. Something even better. I have an even better idea. Actually, I have a better idea. I have a better idea. Yeah, so there we go. That's how it does that.
Yeah, it actually did pretty well. I was worried the McDonald's was going to force its way in, but
No, no. I think if you give it like specific instructions, like with what you're trying to do, that's the whole point of the instructions option is for situations like this, where because I guess it just my response if a girl's like, "Where are you taking me to dinner?" is just instantly troll her because I just at that point just I'm not going to take her seriously at all. But I guess there are some guys who do want to make it work, right? So those are all good responses. We can replicate everything. We can replicate also the instructions we give it.
yeah, I would say the app did pretty well with this one.
Yeah,
It's a
yeah,
tough
no,
situation because you wanted.
there's literally no better way to answer that.
Yeah. All right, well, shall we check out what ChatGPT says?
Sure.
This is a good recommendation from this guy, curious consultant. Okay, should we leave the instructions or should we just let it start from scratch at first?
Let's start from scratch and then let's put it in.
Okay.
I already know what's going to do. It's going to try to impress.
Let's see.
Yeah, but we need to, in order to really replicate, we need to give it the same instructions we gave FireTexts.
Yeah, I agree. All right, let me get those instructions again. Okay.
How about we skip dinner out, cook something for you? How about dinner at my place? I have a better idea. We have cozy. So the problem with this is that it jumps into it too fast, and it's not terrible. It just jumps into it too fast. You have to you can't go from like the girl taking me out to dinner to like do a complete like, or I guess it's not a 180. You kind of have to bait her into it a little bit. So that's what I think FireText decided to do. It's like, okay, well, you're not going to go straight from like, where you taking me to dinner to like, you're going to come to my place. You're going to like bait her. You're going to say like, oh, well, I have an even better idea. She's going to be like, what's that idea? And then you might say something along the lines of, yeah. But so it's essentially combining two steps into one, but it's not terrible. But they're not as good, but it's not terrible.
Yeah, the FireText generates messages that in this situation that are like intriguing. Like, oh, I have a better idea. Like it keeps the conversation going. She's gonna be interested. Well, what's this better idea? I mean,
But it did actually better on this than I thought it would.
yeah.
Oh, this is an interesting one. I wonder what both would say. Don't you have a girlfriend? All right, let's try that.
What she says to the guy? Don't you have a girlfriend?
Yeah, she says, yeah, don't you have a girlfriend?
Okay, so should we keep the first message the same?
Yeah, I think I know how FireText is going to answer it.
Yeah,
It's just going to say no.
You think so?
No, I don't know. I'm just fucking around.
We'll see that. Oh, I got a typo here. Okay.
Yeah, so it's something along the lines of that. You essentially it relies on the assumption is that you would get her to question her assumption. Now, if you want to actually be honest, you would in the further instructions you would say, tell her you have a girlfriend, but make a joke out of it or something, or I don't know.
Let's see.
I told you that with confidence. I can't believe you would betray me like this. Yeah, but I'm thinking about getting a side chick. Yeah, she's cool with it. She likes to watch. Yeah, that's like kind of the. There's really no way to make a better joke about it. What if we just say, "Tell her I have a girlfriend," and just get rid of make a joke about it? Because I just realized it's like one of those things that's kind of hard to joke about. I have her permission. Yeah, essentially that's the gist of it. If you want to be honest, like that you have like assuming you do have a girlfriend, you want to be honest about it. There's nothing really better than yeah, she's cool with it or I have her permission. Uh there's nothing else you can do. The initial reaction is to get her to question her assumption. But if you were like, hey, I want to be a friend that have a girlfriend, then there's really not much you can do.
I'm very interested to see what ChatGPT does with this one. Oh, by the way, we should put the promo code up on the screen.
Oh, right. I totally forgot.
We're running a promo for Playing with Fire fans. You get the subscription much cheaper. Well, everybody, you don't need a subscription to use the app. Actually, everybody could just download the app and use it. You get like a certain number of credits for free to start, just so you can check it out and make sure you like it. But if you want to like have unlimited usages and stuff, we have upgrades. But if you use that code on the screen, you just type in PWF25, you get 25% off for life, locked into a cheaper price.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Should we? I kind of just want to take off the instructions.
Yeah, I want to take it off too.
Is this? I don't know what ChatGPT is going to do with this one.
Yeah, let's see. Yeah, so it's not terrible, but the idea is that again, when a girl has an assumption about her and you tell her no, you don't, she just assumes that she's correct, and you're just saying that to tell her. So the psychology is much better to get her to question that assumption rather than to tell her that she's wrong. It's like I'm trying to think of like if I say, "Aren't you?" Like let's say you heard that someone is I don't know, like what's something like a thief. Aren't you a thief? And the person's like, "No." You're going to be like, "Well, that probably makes me think they're a thief more, right?" Versus if they're like, "Wait, why do you think that?" You're going to be more likely to like, "Wait, why do I think that?" That's kind of the psychology. Now let's try it with yeah. Yeah, it it it's the problem is that it again does this makes the same mistake of escalating on non-compliance. Do you have a girlfriend is either mildly negative or negative compliance? So it's much better to just address like these types of concerns at a time, and then once she responds, then you ask her if she's still interested in meeting up. If you do that at the same time, most often than not, the girl will just be like, no, right? So you just never want to escalate on non-compliance, and it makes that mistake.
Interesting. Yeah. I mean, I was with all these examples. It's interesting how ChatGPT's answers are always longer than ours, like every single time.
Yeah.
Like ChatGPT wants to like write multiple sentences and have long answers to everything.
Yeah. Oh, let's try one more before we end it off. The COVID is really kicking in. What do you do in a scenario where you try to get a girl's number on an app, but she wants to talk on the app? So
like basically she's saying no. She doesn't want to give you her number.
Yeah, like let's say the guy says, "Shoot me your number."
Should we do any messages before that, or just start directly?
No, not necessary. Shoot me your number, and the girl says, "Let's just talk on the app." Or like maybe more like, "I don't feel comfortable. Let's just talk on the app for now." Actually, no. Let's just talk on the app for now. Let's keep it simple. Yeah, get rid of that.
Okay. All right. Let's just keep the instructions blank for now. I feel like we may need to use it, but we'll see.
Yeah, it's not bad. So the first one is humor. Okay, my mom's gonna be so disappointed, breaking my heart. So that's a takeaway. That's fine. Third one, I probably wouldn't use. Fourth one, nah. Fifth one is a good way of escalating in person, of moving into just skipping the phone number and just going straight to the date. Put teaser in the instructions and hit generate. That's I think how we're gonna have to do it. Yeah. I see you're just looking for some virtual pen pals. Yeah, that's like a pretty good one because that's like she's gonna have to address that. and either she's like, yeah, I am, or most likely she's gonna be like, no, blah 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 blah.
Yeah, I think these are a little bit better. It's a difficult situation for AI to handle. I'm interested to see how ChatGPT does this one.
Hit generate one more time. Yeah. So all right, we could talk on the app like two nervous 12-year-olds. Are you trying to keep our conversation secret from your 100 other message, or is that your safe word? Are you afraid of a little texting? So yeah, 4 of those are really good.
Yeah, it did better with that one, with that set. And that's sometimes you just want to hit generate a couple times. Like if you don't like what you see, you just hit generate. Where
Yeah.
people have mentioned like they might want to go back and see ones that they generated before. So one of the next features we're going to add to the app is like you could see the history. Like what, like if you hit generate a couple times, we want to be able to go back and see the ones from before.
Yeah. All right, let's go to. I think your shit froze.
Yeah, it'll work. All right, we'll go over to ChatGPT for now.
Yeah, that's probably just an issue with the emulator. All right.
Okay. Oops. All right, we'll take off the teaser to start.
Yeah. it just always gives in, essentially. It always plays it super safe.
Sure, no problem with something. Yeah. Yeah, same deal as before. It really just the tone is the same all the time.
It's always like people pleasing. That's essentially the intention. It's always to people please.
Yeah.
Which is not the best thing for dating, as is pretty obvious to anyone who's ever dated. Let's just try to give it. Let's just say tease her to replicate.
Okay. Let me just grab that again. Okay. Playing hard to get. Let's keep that.
It just once again it gives in.
Yep. Same issue. The classic no number move. I'll let you keep me in suspense for now. Yeah, it's always that same tone.
So it was like the pushover, like kind of like nice guy type of shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. I think we got through enough. Yeah, I think we definitely went through enough to make a to I guess do a solid demonstration. But we'll keep doing these. We'll keep doing these like maybe once a month or something like that. So if you guys are ever have any, if you guys are watching this and repeat and you're like, hey, what the fuck? I have one. You can. There's a number of things you can do. You can join us next time we do a stream. You can download FireTexts for free, and we'll give you like 30, I believe, free uses, so you can use it. You can join our Discord group, which is also free. Yeah, I mean, I would say those are the best things. But yeah, check it out if you like it. You can subscribe. It's not expensive. It's like I think with a discount, the 100 uses a month comes out to like something like what is it like $3 or $4 or what is it?
I haven't looked in a while. I think it's like 6 or something like that for. Do we have a? I'm not sure we have an option for 100.
Oh yeah, right. We don't. We have
500.
500. Yeah. I forgot. But yeah,
if you guys want to get the app, guys, just go to firetext.com, and then if you have examples that you want us to use next time or for on stream, or if you just have suggestions or anything like that, just email us, support@firetext.com. You can also get our email from inside the app. But yeah, if you want to get the app, just go to firetext.com and you try it out for free.
For sure. All right, guys, appreciate you. I'll probably be back soon, as soon as my voice recovers. I'm already starting to feel a little bit better, so hopefully in a day or two I'll be back to normal. All right, appreciate you guys, and take it easy. Till next time.